Good morning. Today is Thursday, the 28th of February, 2013. I gotta tell you, I'm getting wore out. It's been a long week, man. Monday and Tuesday I had meetings all day. Yesterday I was up at the meeting of the Playa community up in the El Paraíso restaurant on the road going to El Valle. And then I spent all morning today in a helicopter. So it's like 1:37 in the afternoon, and I'm just starting my day today. Anyway, I wanted to get this video out because I want to get caught up on what's been going on the last couple of days. So, here we go. News in Panama. Here's this guy. He's a deputy in the National Assembly, Marcos Gonzalez. He threatened the La Prensa newspaper. La Prensa is doing a series of reports on what they're painting as corruption in the National Assembly. The executive branch gives money to the deputies every year for them to spend in their circuit, the area where they're from, to do things like community projects and fix up the park or fix a water line, or, because the idea being, supposedly, those guys that are from that area know better what their community needs. In reality, this is just money that these guys can kick back and they can spend and spread around. And we're talking like the numbers that La Prensa got their hands on covers 2010 and 2011, and the cream of the crop, the guys that are the Cambio Democrático lawmakers, were getting $3 million a pop in that 2-year period. So this guy Gonzalez comes out and he says he threatened La Prensa, and he said he's going to put people out in front of La Prensa to denounce them as being like slanderers or defaming him or whatever. Yeah, okay, that'll work. Whatever. He says, I've got nothing to worry about, and we spend our money fighting hunger and all that stuff. If you got nothing to worry about, why do you care? I mean, seriously. He also plays the, not the race card, but he plays the class warfare card, talking about how the people who own the Prensa are the Rabi Blancos, and they're just pissed because they're not in charge, and da-da-da. Now, to an extent, he's right. There's always been this. There's really only been back and forth between the PRD and then the rich oligarchy. So now you've got the Cambio Democrático, which is kind of like in the middle between those two. So anyway, whatever. He ain't happy. He's making noise. And of course, the more noise he makes, they talk about it in La Prensa. Thank you, Diputado Marcos Gonzalez. All right, anyway, so moving on. In the Panama America, the ASEP, and that is the Authority of Public Services. These are the guys that regulate things like the guys who have the contracts to do like the telephone service and the electrical service. They are doing a report on the power outage on Monday. The power went out on Monday in the whole country. There was a fire in the sugarcane underneath the power lines. The sugarcane wasn't supposed to be there. They burned it anyway. They burn off the leaves so they can harvest the sugarcane. And that caused the power to go out. It was a domino effect, and it shut down in the whole country. So now they're going to do their inspections and do their investigations. It turned out that it was actually in Puerto Gago in Agua Dulce. That was the exact location. Now they've got it down to the tower. So it's like right here. This is where it went. This is where it started from. So anyway, they're still trying to figure out exactly who was responsible for that stuff. And then, of course, all sides are trying to say, oh, it wasn't us. We're not, we've got a letter. We could, they said we could do this. Just trying to cover their asses. Now, there's, in the Estrella, there's this story about this guy. His name is Mark Klugman, and they call him a journalist. In reality, he's a political operative. He's not a journalist. He's a political operative. He's worked in the past in Panama. I have no idea why anybody would hire this dude, because the people that hire him lose. And he got ridden out of Honduras practically on rails after an election up there. His trick is to go dirty. And he was hired by the administration of Mireille Moscoso when they got hammered after her in a re-election bid after the end of her thing. And then he got hired by the primary candidacy of Juan Carlos Navarro when he was running in a primary against Balbina Herrera, and they lost. And then basically every time this guy pops up somewhere in Latin America, whoever he's working for gets hammered. Well, it turns out that apparently there was a meeting back in 2008 when some people, Martinelli, Papadimitriou, met with this guy at the Chalet Suizo, according to him anyway, and they talked about the possibility of hiring him, and apparently they didn't hire him. Good for them. They won. So now he's coming out and going, oh, you're trying to say, here's the email and you sent, and here's an open letter and all that stuff. Who gives a crap, dude? You didn't get hired. So anyway, Mark Klugman, this guy keeps coming back like a bad burrito, It's all into this, it's related to this thing of the church trying to get people to sign this pact of ethics and stuff, and it's all tied into that. Then this is Mr. Dirty Campaign, okay? This is Mr. Go Low, Mr. Find the dirt, dig it up, and throw it in your face. So, well, whatever. I just hope he doesn't get involved in anybody's campaign down here in Panama. Well, somebody's got to lose, I guess. I don't know. Whatever. Okay, the PRD is getting ready for their primary election on Sunday. Carlos Navarro is going to win. I mean, there's like no doubt that anybody else is going to win that election. He's got it hands down. There's not even any real serious challenge. There's other people out there that are just kind of running so that they can wave their flag and get some name recognition. But anyway, after the PRD primary election on Sunday, then Juan Carlos Navarro will be the PRD's official candidate for the election in 2014. And they'll be done with that. Okay, moving on to some routine crime and violence. Necritica. They found in a house in Colón, Los Lagos in Gatón, in Los Lagos in Colón, they found $18,000 in cash stashed up in the roof of a house, kind of between the roof and the drop ceiling thing, with a 12-gauge shotgun, a bunch of shells, 2 semi-automatic pistols, and a revolver. So anyway, those people are busted, and those guns have been taken off the street. Now, here with things that the lawmakers are doing on TVN, the National Assembly has approved on second debate, the second out of third, the law. It's bill number 563 that would delay the implementation of the new accusatory system for the criminal thing. Now, they've already implemented it in a couple of provinces in Panama, and it was supposed to be implemented in the province of Panama and Colón and the rest of the country. They did it in a couple of places in the interior of the country, and it's been working well, but that's kind of starting off with baby steps so that you can take on the big kahuna, which is Panama City, and they're just not ready yet. So they've passed this law, and they're gonna delay it and implement that later. I'm kind of sad to see that happen. I wish they would have gotten their shit together and done it with plenty of time. They've known this shit was coming for years. Why didn't they spend the money and do the training and hire the people it's necessary to implement this thing? Everybody's in agreement that it needs to be implemented, but whatever. Maybe one day they'll get around to getting it done. I certainly hope so. Okay, let me see. Where are we at here? We are in the Siglo. Now, here are some complaints that are being fired between a couple of guys in this thing called Psicotrack. These were the old bus drivers that used to run the Diablo Rojos, the old buses that have been taken off the streets. And one guy made accusations, and then that guy got fired, and now there's counter accusations. To get to the end of the story here, it turns out that they were forging paperwork to create the impression that Joe Blow, whoever, had a bus and he had legal paperwork so that he could get paid $25,000 per bus that the government was paying these drivers to get them off the street. And apparently there were 100 of these things that were falsified, and of those 32 or something got approved or whatever. So anyway, we're talking $800 million. 800 million? No, not 800 million. That's way too much. $800,000 of corruption. Money that should not have gotten paid, that got paid for people that shouldn't have got it in the first place. But anyway, so that's all going to be investigated, and we'll see how that turns out. Okay, where are we at? We are in the Mediadio. This one was kind of interesting. Somebody packed up a bunch of clothes in a box, and they were going to ship it to Holland. That's nice. However, apparently the drug dog sniffed it, hit on the box. They searched the box. There's nothing in there but clothes. the cocaine was impregnated in the clothes. I don't know how you do this, but somehow, some way, they found a way to impregnate the cocaine into the clothes so that on the other side, when the clothes arrive, there's got to be a way to extract it again. But it's camouflage. When you look in the box, there's no coke, it's just clothes. But then they checked it and they found that the clothes had been impregnated with cocaine, which is pretty slick. Anyway, slick until you get caught. So they got caught. Okay, last thing here, in the Dia a Dia fatal accident in Capita, La Pita in Capita, a small car got hit by one of these Toyota buses, one of these small Toyota buses that carry about 25 people or so, and 3 people in the car got killed, a 56-year-old guy, a 9-year-old kid, and a 36-year-old woman. So, fatal accident. Once again, they happen here in Panama all the time. Be safe. Do everything you can to be safe on the road. All right, that's it. That's all I got. Thank you very much for watching. As always, have a great day. Bye.